Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Popsicle Games podcast, a podcast on the love of making and playing video games. This is your host, James, and with me are my fellow co-founders, Eric and Jed. Guys, please say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, those are
Hello.
So, just a little intro about ourselves in the studio. Popsicle Games is a Filipino game development studio, and we've been making a lot of mobile games lately. But as game developers, we also love playing video games, I mean. So that's why we made this podcast. It's we try to put our game development knowledge as well as we talk about the love of the hobby as well.
Years of game
Yeah.
playing experience.
Years of game playing experience. We might
Decades.
I think we need a old school episode one of these
Right.
days. Anyways, for our first topic, it's all about the love of grindy games. You know, you guys love playing grinding games, the ARPGs.
What's a grinding game?
Grindy game or a grinding game is basically, well, the way I see it, it's about the loot, grinding for loot, and just trying to seek for more powerful loot and doing things over and over again for the love of the loot.
I think that's what the definition of grind entails.
Yes.
Doing stuff over and over again,
Yes.
repetitively, in the hopes of, I don't know, getting something or getting someplace better or getting a piece of loot, getting something rare.
Yep.
Okay.
But before we go into the topic, can I ask you guys, what have you been playing this week? Maybe we can start with Jed. What have you been playing, sir?
What have I been playing? I got back into Far Cry 5. Since I haven't been playing it much. I'm almost done with it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm like 2/3 done, and I recently got back into it. It
Okay.
still feels good. I haven't been playing a lot of shooting games.
Did you have to do a lot of the side missions and stuff?
You mean grind?
The grind,
Yeah.
yes. It has a loot, kind of like a loot. No, sorry.
Not really. Just
Yeah.
I guess if you're very particular about clearing out your map from
Okay.
all the icons, there's a quest here, there's a chest over there. There's a lot of that, and honestly, I've been ignoring all of that.
Okay, so it's perfectly playable if you just go for the main story.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the Ubisoft way. I also
okay.
played. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot. You know what? I think
Check
I
your
should
Steam.
be able to check. I've been playing for 32 hours.
Wow,
Okay.
that's not bad. I want to play that. We started the co-op like months ago. I want to continue that with you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should.
The co-op was really fun. It really, I mean, it's nice that they added that feature that we asked for since Far Cry 3.
Yeah, we've been wanting co-op since Far Cry 3, and finally they got it right.
Finally.
Yes.
It's I don't know, their system of handling co-op is a little debatable in that the person joining the game has like a separate save for the story and the progress and stuff. But I think you get to carry over the currency that you pick up or
Yeah, I think
the weapons
so.
that
If
you
you
unlock.
buy stuff while
Yeah.
you're in your friend's world, I think you get to unlock
You
stuff.
get to unlock, yeah.
I don't really remember.
Yeah, anyways, we should try it. Should try it soon. Okay, so Far Cry 5 for Jed, and for Eric, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Mario Tennis Aces.
Mario just came out
Yeah, it just came out.
from this recording. I think like a week ago, more or less.
like
Yeah,
a week ago.
nice.
It's not a grindy game, right?
It not.
you call it a
It's
grind?
it's more of a Well, if the main game mode's the tournament, the online tournament mode. So it gets grindy if you keep on practicing. And
Well, from what I've seen from you guys playing, I think the repetition there comes from failing at the quest. The adventure mode and then doing it over and over. That's not really grinding.
No, no, no.
It's part of the learning curve.
Yeah. So how are you liking the story quest or the single player content?
I like the single player so much. Maybe because I can't play online.
Mm-hmm.
Because I couldn't find an opponent with a decent connection.
Yeah, that's been my problem also. Yeah. So where are
mostly
you?
Stuck on the single player mode.
Which part are you in the?
I'm at
Single player.
I just unlocked the third racket.
Is that the mirror or the
the
ice?
mirror.
The mirror.
The
Okay.
haunted house
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. It's nice. I've been playing it also. I've been trying to do more online. Apparently the mechanics are pretty deep that people are comparing it to fighting games.
Yeah.
I've seen that talk.
So yeah, cool. Mario Tennis. Well, for me, lately I've been playing a lot of iRacing.
What is that? What is
it's
iRacing?
okay. iRacing stands for Internet Racing. You have to understand it came out during the era of the iPods, iPads.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. It came out 2000, 2004, 2004, 2008. Yeah, sorry, 2008.
Wow.
And you play 10 years ago. Yes, exactly 10 years ago. You pay a monthly fee. It's like an MMO for racing games, basically. And what's nice about iRacing is that they track your safety rating, and that adds points. It's a point system basically that it gives you, if you have enough safety rating points, you get to upgrade your license and you get to drive more tracks and cars. Safety rating is basically if you don't bump into anybody or you don't go off track. There are certain demotion points that you can earn per race. So if you go off track, that's 1 point. You earn 1 point for that. If you bump suddenly, it's 4 points. And then in one race, you can only have about 17 points in total.
So you lose points by playing this game like a video game.
Yes, exactly. So because the concept of iRacing is building your career as a racer, and and you have to keep it clean racing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been well, it's mostly learning rather than playing. I guess I would say half of my time is watching a lot of YouTube videos on learning the fundamentals of racing, like knowing the apex or braking and weight transfer. And then another 50% is just actually practicing by myself. And and I've done a couple of official races. And it's nerve-wracking because I keep on getting those points. And I've lowered my safety rating to I think 2. Close to 1 now, 1.9. So I think it's 2.1, 2.0. And but I'm trying to learn as I go, and it's a fun experience so far.
So you have to be subscribed.
You have to subscribe, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I got the summer sale promo for 1 year. It's usually $100 something. Now it's about like $13 for the annual subscription. So
it's a huge discount.
Yeah, I just bought that. But the additional content like the cars and the tracks are $15 each. So if you want a particular car or track, you need to buy it separately.
Oh, okay. So there's no way to earn the cars in game.
No way to
you
earn
have to
them.
buy them.
You have to buy them. But I think so far, from what I've seen, each type of racing course, if you want to be oval or road or dirt oval or dirt road, you have the default or like one car that you can try. So for all the racing leagues, you can at least try.
Oh, okay.
But the tracks are a different story. If there's a track that you want to race, and I'm not sure if it's always available for the official races, like the one you have by default. I have to check. I haven't gotten that far off the game yet.
All right.
So that's iRacing.
iRacing.
I love it.
Internet
Internet racing.
Racing on the internet.
Yes. Okay. All right, so that's what we've been playing for the past week, and now we can get into the topic, which is the love of grindy games or grinding games. I think we've already talked about the definition of what makes a game grindy.
Yeah.
So
something repetitive,
loot based. Chasing the loot for to become more powerful. But why do we play these type of games? Is it what sort of fantasy does it fulfill for us?
Well, I don't think it really fulfills any kind of fantasy in my case. I like to refer to these games as podcast games because I can just listen to something, or if you just watch something unrelated while playing it, I just turn down the sound and I just play automatically while listening to something else.
So
when I spend time listening to a podcast, I can earn loot on the side.
Okay.
That's
so
basically
you
the draw.
multitask.
Yes, multitasking.
So it's something you want to play, but not really. You don't have to be fully invested. Well, at least your brain doesn't have to be fully invested in the activity.
I don't need to be actively engaged to grind through like Diablo 3's rifts, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Eric? Why do you play grindy games?
In my case, actually, when I look back, I only play grindy games that are, for me, I prefer grinding games that are competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hearthstone, Overwatch, even the mobile games like Clash Royale.
Okay.
I played a lot of those because I get a certain fulfillment whenever I play with another human player.
Okay.
And the loot part is just a plus for me. So as long as I enjoy playing the games, the strategy involved, and being competitive, I think that's the key that gets me into the game.
That keeps you going.
Going back.
Wow, that's admirable. Yeah,
Nice.
the gameplay keeps you playing.
Nice.
Yeah, because usually the loot is there to incentivize you to keep playing, but you like playing the game itself.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay. For my case, it's basically chasing the loot. Yeah, but you know what? It's been recently that I've really enjoyed grinding games like Diablo 3. Ever since you told me, Jed, about the adventure mode in Diablo 3.
Yeah.
That's like, and it came out like a few years ago already.
Yeah, it did.
And you've been telling me a few years ago already to try it, and I just tried it like last year.
Yeah, I think I remember last year.
And when I got it, was okay. I understand now why it's a fun activity, the adventure mode. Like you just go through a dungeon, kill the enemies, and pick up loot. And the loot is really good. Well, Diablo 3's loot at least is really good.
Yeah, this is the promise of good loot.
The stats increase incrementally. And because of that, you keep on wanting, okay, I want to keep on going further. I want to keep on playing and grinding and getting better loot until you get that perfect, well, the quote-unquote perfect loot.
Yeah, the god roll.
The god roll. Another thing is that usually these games are played with other people.
Right.
So that kind of is the incentive for me is playing with others, especially like a game in Destiny that Destiny 2 at least. You can form a party or a fire team, go into a strike, and hopefully get a good loot drop at the end, which is kind of the problem of Destiny 2, which is another episode maybe that we can talk about. Bad loot drops and whatever.
I never got to the grinding part in Destiny. I finished the campaign and then I stopped playing. So but I should see what the fuss is all about. Yeah.
Hopefully with the new patch on September, they get to address a lot of those problems. But yeah, anyways, going back, that's really the motivation for me is playing with friends, getting better loot, and those moments, salty moments when you see your friend gets an exotic drop and and you get really jealous about it, and
Bragging
yeah,
rights.
bragging rights, and then it's also the same vice versa when you get a really good drop and people are like super jelly about your drop, and yeah, those small things. All right, so we've talked about why we love playing these games. Maybe we can talk about that. Do we ever feel that it's a waste of time? Because it's like a repetitive thing. Well, in games like Destiny and Diablo 3, basically the gameplay loop is that you go into an activity, kill enemies, get drop, and that's it. Do you ever feel it's like a waste of time?
I don't think so. It is a waste of time as much as any game is a waste of time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever like segregated the idea of playing a grindy game over something else like a story based game or like a narrative RPG. I spent the same amount of time playing these different games, and I kind of lumped them all together into game time.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Although when it comes to grindy games, I think there's a bonus there because I got to listen to a podcast or watch a YouTube video at the same time.
Okay, that's something that I never considered. That
Yeah.
you want to play a game, but at the same time you want to consume like some sort of media or
Yeah.
like, or do something else, and you're able to do that.
Yeah, podcasts mostly because usually I listen to them when I'm outside, commuting or walking. But sometimes you want to listen to something like that when you're at home.
Okay.
And when I sit down to listen to a podcast, I feel like I need to do something with my hands. So
Okay.
yeah, play something,
Okay.
kind of brain dead.
You know what, the only time I get to watch or listen to something while playing is when I play Euro Truck Simulator.
Oh yeah.
It's not exactly. I don't know if you can consider it like a grinding game. Well,
Yeah, somewhat.
in some sense, yeah.
Yeah, it's repetitive.
Yeah.
You just drive from point A to point B.
Yeah. I've actually watched a few episodes of the toys that made us.
Ooh.
So it was really nice. Sometimes though I lose my concentration while driving, and then because you're like super invested in the show, and then there's like a curve or like an exit that you have to go through, and oh no, I missed the exit.
Violations.
Yeah, traffic violations or sudden break. But yeah, okay. How about you, Eric? What do you think? You feel that it's a waste of time?
I don't think it's a waste of time. Games is a matter of preference anyway, so you choose the game that you want to play.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think all the games that I've grinded or have entertained me in a way, so I don't think it's a waste of time.
Okay. That's a good answer. So, yeah, same here. I think it becomes just a waste of time when you're not satisfied about the loot that you're getting. I feel, again, going back to Destiny 2, I feel this is a problem for the game, that there are certain activities that when you keep on doing, the loot isn't that good. For example, the heroic strikes or nightfall strikes. Those activities are meant to be done over and over again, but unfortunately, the developers didn't allow the game to drop better loot incrementally. Not like how
Isn't that fun to play through the missions?
it's fun to a certain extent. I mean, okay, the main reason why I keep playing Destiny is because of the gunplay mechanics. It's really solid. It's
Okay.
really good. But of course, the loot is also another like a big chunk of why I like or why I want to play the game.
In my case, kasi the loot does not motivate me. Like for example, when I play Overwatch, I just let my loot boxes pile up.
Okay.
I just play the game competitively and don't open the loot boxes
Yeah.
at all.
Okay.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I think it depends on the game too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Diablo is fun to play. A big part of that is the random maps, the variety. You can pick like which act you want to play in.
Mm.
If you play a rift, it's totally random. You don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what set of monsters you're going to be facing.
Are the dungeons also procedurally generated?
Yes, yeah.
Mm.
Some of them are not, but if you play a rift, yeah, definitely it's procedurally generated, and that keeps it interesting since you really have to explore the map. At least your brain is active in some way, and that you're looking for a waypoint. Looking for the next door. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, looking for the next door. And I guess a big part of it is feeling rewarded, or at least feeling like you're making progress somehow.
Yeah.
I guess Diablo did a good thing here by keeping the rewards constant. Like once you reach max level, you have the Paragon levels that give you tiny incremental bonuses. You can, improve your movement speed by 1%, or add 1 to your intelligence, or something like that.
That's a nice system because if you want to keep on playing and want to keep getting those incremental upgrades, the game allows you.
Right.
Not like in Destiny that okay, after you do this, that's it, and then you can either do the raids to keep on getting loot or just wait next week. That's what I don't like. It just makes you stop there. Like, you can do so much just to get better loot.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal. Like you always have to see some kind of bar increasing.
That's right.
Gives you, and I think they have like the drop rate finely tuned in Diablo 3. I read somewhere that they have it timed so that you get a legendary like every 12 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something
wow,
like that.
wow.
They have it really.
They have a down to a formula.
Yeah, they
wow.
have it worked out into a formula. Yeah, you just keep playing. Well, fortunately, it's fun to play. And the way that they design the loot is that you have to experiment with your skill set because your loot interacts with that. So some of your skills work differently depend on what you have equipped. And you keep switching up your loadout because of that. And it keeps the game interesting.
Yeah. I like how also like drops relevant loot to you.
For your class.
Yeah, for your class. And especially like, the skills that you were saying that I remember that I got one of like a piece of armor that increases the effect of my barbarian stomp or something like that. And it was one of the skills that I kept using.
Right.
So the game knows that okay, this guy likes to use a certain skill. So why not give him something, a piece of loot that enhances that skill. And it changed the game a bit for me.
Yeah, they made some really good decisions, and it wasn't always like that. That was from the Loot 2.0 update.
Yeah.
Before that, you would just get random crap, and there was the auction house where you just buy stuff for your character, and there's no grinding. You just go to the auction house and buy shit.
Okay, I'm glad they changed it, and I hope Diablo 4 announcement BlizzCon this year 2018.
It's happening.
I hope so. Since we've been talking about our favorite grinding games, maybe again let's talk about our all-time favorite grindy games.
Yeah,
we have Diablo. We've mentioned Diablo. We mentioned the Clash Royale from the mobile platform.
Royale.
I've been talking about Destiny 2. Maybe I can bring up The Division.
Yeah.
One of the games that turned around.
That's be second to Diablo for me when it comes to hours sunk.
Yeah.
The Division. That's also a good podcast game. You can just turn on play a podcast and just play The Division.
Play The Division.
You don't really need the sound once you've been playing a lot of it.
But, I have to stop you there. These games, I really love the sound. Like, The Division, the gun sounds are really done well.
Yeah, the sound is good and the music is amazing.
I can't bring myself to like listen to something and play. That's just me though. But The Division, and soon The Division 2. I really hope they won't mess it up. Like from the get go, it should be like the expectation is that okay, it's gonna be what Division 1 was, but better.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so. The Division 2 looks really good. We don't know much about it yet. Loot looks interesting.
Yeah, the brands and stuff. But again, it's all speculation from here on out.
Right.
We still don't know. Any other games?
We all played those clicker games.
Oh yeah, the idle games. I love playing them still.
Yeah, Adventure Capitalist.
Mm-hmm.
I played that on mobile. Yeah, I played that for a few hours.
Yeah, it's the incremental game genre. It's like a very streamlined process of what makes us play all these games.
Yeah, it's like they cut out the gameplay.
Yeah. And a little waiting, and then the payout is there after a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can watch a video to times 2.5 the payout.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And you can also do something else while playing the game.
And you can do something else. Yeah, that's right.
Watch
that's
TV.
right. Watch TV or read an article, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Adventure Capitalist and the Doomsday Clicker.
Doomsday
Yeah,
Clicker.
played that one.
I've been playing also. Well, speaking mobile, I forget, it's Idle Miner or something.
Idle Miner Tycoon.
Yeah, Idle Miner Tycoon. I enjoy that pretty well. It's nice because the visuals are not bad, and you dig and try to get as much minerals as you can and sell them and then buy more levels
Yeah,
for digging.
Where's the satisfaction in that? Just seeing how much you're earning?
And it's nice to see all the factory work. I mean, the workers moving, and you see like it's almost like having good loot that, but instead it's like piles of coal being lifted and being sold.
Yeah,
That's
just the sheer volume.
the
of
volume. That's
stuff
yeah.
moving.
That's the appeal for me.
Oh, okay.
How about you, Eric? All-time favorite?
I think my all-time favorite grinding game is probably Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
I've played since the beta days.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably have all the card backs. Which means I've played every season, every month from that beta period.
Nice.
Wow.
And it's really a grinding game because it resets every month. Your rank resets every month. You have to play over again, go back to legend. So for me, the satisfaction is more about playing with another person. It's like chess for me.
Okay.
So it's a strategy game. You get like a minute and a half for your turn, and then your opponent gets the same. Then you just get card backs every month.
So
That's it.
you don't feel cheated that if I understand correctly, Hearthstone, you need to keep playing to get card packs, so you get better cards for your deck.
Yes.
So you don't feel cheated like, okay, this guy has better
Well,
cards.
to be honest, playing for like 2 years and I actually spent nothing on Hearthstone.
Wow.
So I just bought all the cards using the gold that I get from the games that I've won. Because you win more coins if you win a match.
Win a match, okay.
And then you get additional like cards that you can every month you get a card back, and you get like golden cards as prize if you reach a certain rank within the ladder, the competitive ladder. And you can turn these gold cards into dust.
Okay.
Then those dust, you can use it to craft the cards that you need.
Oh, okay.
So that's how it went for me to be able to for me to make my own decks.
Okay.
So it's possible even without paying for it.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay. So do you still get gold for losing matches?
Get gold for losing matches? No, because you get the gold from the quests.
Oh, yeah.
So actually,
defeat 5 people.
Yeah, actually you can get even if you lose. Because they have the quests.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
That sounds good for me because I tried Hearthstone and I kept losing.
The key actually is just to build the cheapest deck that you can that's viable for the ladder. That means it will win you a lot of games at the fastest possible time.
Okay.
So you don't spend that much grinding time in the game. And yet your win rate is higher.
So do you need to do some research for that?
Yes. That's why I watch a lot of like Twitch streams.
Okay.
So that when for example, I'm in rank 10 and I watch somebody playing which is also in the same rank. So I see that his opponents are mostly using this class. And I know that this class counters that class. So I make a deck from that class that could counter all the popular classes on that rank.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
how I go up faster.
So there's a meta.
Yeah, there's a meta. And
Okay.
every season, the meta changes.
Wow, because they're balancing the cards out. Or?
Yes, because they
Nice.
nerf some cards, they buff some
I
cards.
see.
New cards,
And they
okay,
release
yeah.
new cards.
Wow, so that keeps you playing
Yes.
more.
yes.
Obviously, to
So you can actually play the game without spending.
interesting.
Plus, I think the additional thing for me is that it's also playable on the phone.
Yeah, that's the
So I
nice
can-
thing
I
about
can play
Hearthstone.
anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere, any plan.
Yeah.
It's like basically the Switch, but with your phone.
Yeah.
You can play on the PC, play on your phone, and everything's synced. So
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
synced.
problem, and there's no like advantage or disadvantage of the controls because it's just basically throwing cards around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's nice. I would like to play something like that. I tried Hearthstone, but couldn't wrap my head around the whole thing. I'm not good at chess. I hate chess, but I like fighting games. So maybe. Well, not all time favorite, but I've spent a decent amount of time in was Warframe. Another free to
Oh,
play
yeah, that is another loot-based
loot-based game.
game, yeah.
Something that rivaled Destiny before it came to the PC. Basically, it was something that if you wanted to play Destiny on the PC, you looked at Warframe. It's nice, but I don't. What made me stop? I think there's just a lot of things to manage. Because the way you build your loot or the way you build your equipment in Warframe is that you collect cards, and these cards have like stat upgrades, like plus X number of points to a certain element, or X number of points to how hard the weapon's hitting.
Okay.
And you need to build up these cards, and sometimes you have to craft them or put them together. And it became like a really big headache for me trying to manage all the cards, because you get so much, and sometimes the cards that you like aren't being dropped enough because of the drop rate.
So the cards are your loot?
A little bit, yes. And then there's just, again, it's a free-to-play game, so there's a lot of currencies involved. So it gets a little complicated. But gameplay is nice. The shooting, the gunplay is also nice. I just didn't like too much the designs of Warframe. If you've noticed or you have seen some screenshots, they look very beetle or insect-like.
It's very weird.
Very weird.
Very almost to a disturbing degree.
Yeah. And
bizarre.
yeah. And the aliens also,
Wait,
they're humans
there
also.
Are aliens?
Well, not aliens. I think they're humans.
I
but
thought everyone was an alien in that game.
but okay, I think the story of the game was like it's set like 3,000 in the year 3,000 or something, or 4,000, and people don't look like people anymore because they're highly engineered and whatever. It's like super sci-fi and strange sci-fi. I don't know.
Strange sci-fi.
It's strange
That's
sci-fi.
a good way of putting it.
Sci-fi.
Warframe, but yeah, Warframe is good. It's free to play. If you can, again, handle the grind, it's a really good game to play. Any games? Borderlands. Would we consider Borderlands a
It
grind?
is, yeah.
In a way.
Borderlands, definitely a grindy game with lots of loot, but I never played it like that. I just
Yeah.
played through the story.
The story, same.
Yeah. So I don't know what the grind experience is. I guess any game that has an end game where you do repetitive tasks for more crap. You could call that a grindy
Yeah,
game.
that's the way I see it.
Yeah,
more or less.
Borderlands.
Yeah.
Some good loot, but yeah, no real experience in grinding.
Because there's no end game per se. I mean, there's no end game content. Once you finish the story, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Unless there's a new game plus that I'm not aware of.
How about MMOs?
Yeah.
Because a lot of, I think, grinding, the term came from playing MMOs.
MMOs.
I would say, leveling up, walking around, killing bugs and monsters.
I've tried some Korean MMOs like
Those are grindy.
super
I heard,
grindy.
yeah.
Blade and Soul, Terra. I'm not sure. No, both are free to play, and what I don't like is that they force you into a paywall, and you need to start paying to like really get better loot and
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's super grindy. But the gameplay is nice. I mean, Blade and Soul was nice. It's really unique. The theme is really unique, kung fu stuff. But yeah, it's Korean MMOs are notoriously grindy. Final Fantasy 14 actually is not so bad. There's a lot of story content. I wouldn't say it's really a grinding game because I haven't reached the end game yet.
Oh, so you just play through the story and you're at the right level?
Yeah, basically it's
okay.
that. You do side quests, but the way the loot system is really different. You don't get loot all the time. Right? It's like the way I see it, your loot drops are like they're like big instances that you've been using this particular weapon for like 5 or 10 levels.
Oh,
And then after that, when you reach like that 10th level, new stuff keeps dropping. Or I've been playing the game wrong. I don't know. I should play more.
Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
I tried it. Yeah, haven't played much of it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done any real grinding in any MMO. I played a lot of the Secret World,
Okay.
but that was mostly for the quests.
The story.
Yeah,
Story
the story.
quests.
The investigation missions where you have to go outside the game and Google stuff.
and do the way I remember we had to Wikipedia and stuff. Yeah,
do research on
some
Wikipedia,
research, yeah.
like an ARG.
Yeah.
What else?
Well,
yeah.
Right now there are only a couple of pay to play MMOs with a subscription fee at least. You have World of Warcraft, the King,
Right.
Final Fantasy 14,
Mm.
and I am forgetting one more.
There's one more. Oh, really?
I think.
Okay.
I forget. If there is, I forgot. And there are single payment MMOs like Guild Wars 2, Elder Scrolls Online. You just buy the game and it's free.
Guild Wars.
Sorry, Guild Wars 2 now is free to play.
Is it?
There's a portion. I mean, you can start for free, and then I think you have to pay for the additional content eventually.
That's good. Yeah, it's a very good game.
It's a very good game. But yeah, the MMOs are like a dying breed.
So maybe their grinding approach is based from how they monetize.
Most of the time, yes.
Because you have to spend
yeah.
time.
Like the subscribers, they have to get like a lot more loot than from games that are paid. I mean, you one time.
Yeah. Especially the free-to-play games.
Yeah, that's a good point though. Even in something like World of Warcraft, where you level up really quickly for like the first 20 levels, and then you start hitting the curve, and then the progression slows down, and then you start encountering like gaps when it comes to power level. Like the next area, if you go straight to the next area, you would be under leveled, but you've done all the quests where you are.
Okay.
So you have to spend the next week grinding out, a couple more levels
Yeah,
so you can get in.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how they make money.
Yeah,
they make you play
that's
longer. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. We've been talking about MMOs, but we forgot to talk about the king of grinding games, or the genre at least.
What?
JRPGs.
Oh yeah,
JRPGs make you like Dragon Quest, makes you grind to get up the levels and better loot.
Yeah,
This is way before all the MMOs and stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
Final Fantasy is also notorious for that.
Final Fantasy, yeah, it would be the norm back in the day. Back in the
Yeah.
day, there should be a different episode. But anyway, the norm just to walk in circles on the overworld map
Yep.
for like an hour or so, just gathering XP.
Yeah.
I have to make it to level 10 before I enter the dungeon.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you have to level up.
In Pokemon, I would say,
Oh yeah,
it's a
Pokemon.
bit grindy. I mean, especially the older games that you don't know whatever is hiding in the bushes, and just pray that you
yeah.
wanted that like a Pikachu or whatever.
Wild Pokemons.
Grinding. So,
Do you guys remember Final Fantasy VIII?
yes.
Well, the junction system where you can tie your skills to spells, and the more of that spell that you have, the stronger that skill gets. Like for example, you tie a fire spell to your attack, but
Okay.
the way to get those fire spells is to draw them out of enemies.
Shit, I
So-
don't remember. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
you'd get into a situation where you'd be wandering around the map looking for bad guys, and then you just draw all the spells out of them.
Okay.
It takes you like a couple minutes, and then you kill them, and then you look for more bad guys to draw more spells out of. So it's like they added an additional layer of grinding to the grindiness.
To the grindiness. Wow. Okay. Wow. I don't remember that part. I guess because we're just high school
Yeah, yeah,
kids,
yeah,
and we had all the time that we had, and just kept on playing. Okay. Yeah, we can keep on dropping games, but maybe we have to move on to our last topic. When did a grindy game feel too, grindy? When does it feel that way? When it starts becoming like work, basically. When you're not enjoying.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's it. If you stop feeling like you're playing a game and it starts feeling like
feeling
work,
like work.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is an example of this?
I would like to say again, Destiny.
Oh,
It
Destiny.
the honeymoon period was nice, and then after you realize what the end game was, and now it starts becoming work. Like, okay, I just have to go through my milestones, and that's it. And some milestones I don't like. Like, you have to compete on the PvP portion of the game.
Oh, they require you to play PvP.
Yeah, that's
to
one
earn
of the
some
milestones at least.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and usually I don't do it anymore because I just asked this question to myself: Why am I doing something that I don't enjoy?
Why am I playing this
Why am
game?
I playing this game? Well, in this game mode in particular. So usually I just skip the PvP portion of it and just get whatever milestones that I can with the PvE content.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's really important that you feel rewarded somehow for the time that you spend.
Yeah. Every
Because-
session, right?
Yeah, every
Yeah.
session, because it starts feeling like work. Otherwise, why are you still playing?
No way.
When you stop and you can't remember anything fulfilling that happened to you for
Yeah.
the past 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Going back again to this example, back to Destiny as
Okay.
being feeling like work.
Okay.
So right now, of this recording, they have an event called Faction Rallies, and basically Faction Rallies is you pledge membership to one of the three factions in the game. And then after pledging, you do PvE activities, and they drop tokens. And these tokens could be given back to these to the NPCs representing the faction. And each time you give them tokens, like you level them up a bit. There's a bar that you fill, and each time the bar fills up, you level them up. And every time you level up, you get like a engram, and there's like things that you can shoot for. Like, if you've reached level 5 for this particular faction, you get a particular piece of armor or a piece of gun or an ornament.
Is
And
it
then
a random drop? Or does
no,
everyone
you
get
just
the
need
same
to
thing?
you just need to reach a certain level, and you get a specific thing.
Oh, okay.
And what I'm trying to shoot for is to get like a they call it a masterwork catalyst for an exotic weapon that adds basically another stat to the exotic weapon. And it's really good, but you need to reach level 50. And each time I level up the faction, it takes me like half an hour to do so, because the tokens that are being dropped are not that many. You need to do something to really maximize the token drops.
Oh, you have to
And-
plan it out.
Yeah, and
Okay.
after that, like, I've been doing it for like half an hour. Say, screw this, I'll just play Euro Truck. This is a more enjoyable game for me than grinding for tokens, and I really don't like it. The
I think this
experience.
is one of the biggest difference between mobile games compared to like PC and console games. The mobile game developers have mastered grinding. Like for example, playing Candy Crush. You don't feel grinding at all. They know how to retain you as a player.
Yeah.
They know when to reward you. They gather all the analytic data that they can to understand the behavior of all these players. That's why it's different when you grind on mobile compared
Yeah.
to like grinding on a PC game.
Yeah, there's a nice curve to it, and I think a lot of mobile games incorporate the idle time. You can leave it alone, and you come back and you earn something.
It's still more
Something.
casual,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of the we were talking about MMOs, and one of the MMOs that does that pretty well is Black Desert Online.
Another
There's
Korean.
another
game.
Korean.
Yeah.
I tried it and stopped eventually, but I like that aspect of if you have to keep the game running, but if you like AFK, you can automate stuff like in the game you can run around, and because of you've been running around a lot, you get stamina that makes you sprint faster. So what you can do is you can plot out points on where to run, and your character will just keep on running on that loop.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can also fish. I haven't done this, but you can also fish, AFK fishing.
Kingfish.
And it will catch fish until your rod breaks or if you run out of bait, something like
So
that.
can you get into fights while you're running around?
There are certain areas with bandits that
And
can attack you
You
randomly.
auto fight them?
No, you just run. Yeah.
Okay,
So
just run from
yeah,
them.
you just
Okay,
run.
okay.
And you can also trade. What I like about it also, you can trade. So you can manually have a heavy backpack of commodities and bring it to the next town. So if you're doing something and you're gonna walk and your walk animation slower because you're carrying something heavy.
Oh.
So it takes like
okay.
5 to 10 minutes just to get to
Right.
the next town. So you just leave it, and then once you're there, you sell it, and then you do it again.
Okay. Right. So you can like Euro truck your way through.
Kind of without
Desert.
and that's quite fascinating for me because they took like a mobile approach to it, the idle part of it at least.
Yeah, some games have been trying that. Assassin's Creed, those games. The idle thing
Yeah.
to not much success. I think mobile is still a good medium for that. The leave it alone and come back to it and earn something nice for your time mechanic.
For the time
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you've quote unquote spent.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I guess grindy game really feels grindy when you're not enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, it just occurred to me like how about something like Stardew Valley? That's a grind.
Yeah.
Every
yeah.
day or every other day you're
yeah.
planting crap and you're harvesting.
And have to water crap.
What do you get out of it? Yeah, especially the
watering.
hoeing and
Yeah,
the watering.
Yeah.
Why do we keep doing this?
Again, okay, this is another episode that I want to do is like playing these mundane games and why do we
Okay.
enjoy it. But yes, you're right. It's a grind. It's a grind. You're not even getting loot. I think you get money at the end when you harvest. And
Yeah.
that's I think the end goal.
I guess.
And the satisfaction, there's a certain satisfaction that they give you once it's like hard work that you placed in, and then you reap the
They give
hard
rewards.
work. Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
rewards.
Yeah, and then you plant more.
Yeah, the
And do it
very
all over
definition of grinding.
the
Doing
grinding.
something over and over.
Yeah.
And you're not even looking out to get like a loot drop.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a loot drop.
Yeah, so by definition, Stardew Valley is like one of the best grinding games out there.
You know what just got grinding mechanics?
Which one?
Street Fighter 5.
Okay.
They have a loot box system now.
Okay.
So you can either spend fight money or turn in a ticket. It's a new system. Like
Okay.
I forgot what it's called, a fortune ticket or something. And you get something random, whether it's a piece of concept art or a costume color.
Okay.
And yeah, you can pay fight money for it. But you can also grind through the survival mode.
Oh.
Every time you finish the survival mode, you have to hit like a score threshold, and they give you one ticket. And you can go to the store and turn in that ticket, and you get the loot box, which is like a crystal ball thing.
Oh, okay. And okay, that's kind of cool. I mean, it's a fighting game, and they've
Yeah.
incorporated a grinding mechanic to it.
You get random stuff for fighting, which is
Cool,
nice,
cool.
kind of nice.
Cool. So yeah, I think the like the underlying message for like making a really good grindy game is first and foremost is the base, or like at least the basic core mechanic of the game should be really good. And then second, loot drops or whatever rewards that you're chasing should be very fulfilling at the very least.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that first point especially, I wouldn't play a game if it was annoying to
Yeah,
play.
yeah. I mean, even the idle, like the clicker games that we play on mobile, like
Yeah, they have to feel good.
yeah,
Look good.
they feel visually and at least tactile, it really feels good as well.
And yeah, you're right. The loot has to be good as well. And that feeds back to the first point because it affects the way that you play. I mean, good loot affects the way that you play. Whether you can go through stronger mobs or you play as a different way because of what you're holding currently.
Yeah.
Feeds back to the gameplay portion of it. You keep playing and you grind more and wow, you're caught in a cycle.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending loop.
And I guess the like in Eric's case with Hearthstone is looking forward to like fighting stronger opponents in a way, or like certain opponents, and you're
Yeah.
ready.
Getting a
You
lot
know you're ready to get to fight this particular
out of the
character.
gameplay. Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that's cool. So we've covered everything or most of the aspects of grinding games. I guess we just have to close out the show because we have 6 minutes left on the clock. Anyways, I guess that's it for episode 1. If you have any comments or suggestions, please email us at hello@popsiclegames.com. You can check out our website for our games, popsiclegames.com. Follow us on Twitter at popsiclegames. We are on Facebook as well, facebook.com/popsiclegames. And don't forget to leave a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening from. That will really help us with the exposure. So again, thank you for listening and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.